Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, so right, I am Hendy Irawan, and in this session, I will deliver a training called How to Structure and Create an Effective Landing Page. So here we have Mas Yaski, Mbak Selvia, Mbak Dewi, and also Mbak Revita. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. So this is a training for how to structure and create an effective landing page. So I have already shared you the URL for this training material on the chat room. So in running a business, one of the most important things is that to have sales. And there are several ways to do sales. And one of the best ways, especially that I can do, is running a digital marketing campaign. So some of the benefits of using a digital marketing campaign is that you can capture leads by using forms and using digital interaction, and then you can also measure and also track progress and also analyze results, and usually you can do that in real time. So in this topic of training, I will show you how to launch a digital marketing campaign that is simple but also effective. And the primary technique is by using a landing page within a website. So there are several objectives, but I will skip this to syllabus. So in this session, I will only present the first one, and that is the digital marketing campaign ROC and scorecards. What are the metrics and KPIs to watch? So I will give you an outline of what's to come next. So we will have 6 primary sections here. After we decide the ROC and scorecards, the second section will be what is a landing page and why is it important. The third one is what are the most important design elements of a landing page that converts from visitors to leads to sales. And the fourth one will be how to design a landing page using WordPress. So this is one will be a practice section. And after we design a landing page, the fifth one will be how to create a lead capture form. And then on the sixth session, it will be the final session is how to track the conversions of the landing page, and we will use Google Analytics for that. And after that, we will have a seventh section, which is discussion. And then the last one will be topic rating and feedback. But maybe this will change because previously I planned this to be a 1.5 hours training, but because I still have the material for the first section, so this will be split into several sessions. All right. So let's go to the first session, the first section. Oh, and the ground rules is that anytime you feel confused, please do not hesitate to just ask me. Open your mic and then ask something. Okay. So here goes the first section of how to use digital marketing with landing page. So I call this ROC and scorecards. So before we launch a digital marketing campaign, first we need to decide what is the ROC. So a ROC is a terminology from EOS, Entrepreneur Operating System, that we at Lovia use to manage and as the managerial framework of our company. And it is basically how each team member, what are the goals of each team member. Okay, so it's also called an objective, or it's also called a key result. So before we start a digital marketing campaign, most of them, the primary goal is to generate sales. Okay, so in that case, we can also call it a digital sales campaign. But sometimes the campaign has other goals. For example, the goal can be retention. So we already have a customer, but then the customer will end, the subscription is end date is coming, and then we need to ask the customer to join again or pay again for the next subscription. That's retention. The second one is for desire. So desire means that we already have a lead. So we have someone who already know about us, already know about our brand, but then we want that user to desire our product. Okay, so that requires the campaign to know what the user wants, what the specific need or problem that the user has, and then we guide them and solve the objections, okay, so that they desire our product. The third one is the campaign can be used to generate interest. So by generating interest, I mean that the user already knows that we have a website, but we do not yet know who the user is. So they are just visiting our website or maybe our app or maybe our social media, and that campaign needs to make that visitor either they like or maybe comment or maybe subscribe or maybe chat or maybe contact our WhatsApp or fill a form, type the name, email, message, or sign up to our application or sign up to our website. That's interest. And the last one is attention. So that's basically we don't know who the users are, and maybe they are still browsing on Facebook or Google, and then okay, so please come to our website, please come to our profile. That's attention. And if you notice, actually the order is backwards here, right? I list it backwards because sales is the end goal. But before sales, there is desire. And before desire, there is interest. And before interest, there is attention. And before attention, there is unawareness. Basically, the user does not know anything about us. So that's how I think from the end, what we want to achieve, and then go backwards. How to achieve sales is to get desire. How to achieve desire, we need to get the interest. How to achieve interest, we need to get attention. And before we have the attention, we are nobody. Okay, right. So that's what we have as a goal. The goal must be either of these uh, five, yeah. Either it's attention or interest or desire or action, that is sales, or retention. So AIDA R. Right. So what is a ROC? So a ROC is a goal that is SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And I also add one thing, that is resource. Because we have a goal, but usually we also have a resource that is limited. Okay. So let's see what kind of examples of a ROC. So the first one, we can have a ROC that is capturing 60 leads. So 60 leads means that this is not a action or sales campaign. This is a interest campaign. Okay, this is just an interest campaign. So interest campaign means this person will be going to the next phase, that is the desire. So capture 60 leads who are male, 20 to 50 years old and divorced by January 2021 with 300,000 rupiah of budget. So you can see the first one is it needs to be specific and measurable. 60 leads we can measure. So if we only have 30 leads by January 2021, that means it is underperforming. If we have 75 leads, that means the campaign is a success. And also specific, okay, what is the target audience? And also the last one is the resource part. So for example, this goal must be achieved with a budget of 300,000. It can be a budget for freelancer. It can be a budget for paid ads or something. Basically, that's the budget that can be spent to achieve the goal. Another example is that we achieve how many downloads of something by some time with how many budget. And then the last one is, this one is a rock goal for sales. So for example, sell 12 of silver memberships by Q1 2021. And this is also specific from organic search visitors only. So basically, this goal is just from organic search, meaning usually this means Google. So it's not from Facebook, not from YouTube, not from ads, but just from SEO with 5% conversion rate. 5% conversion rate means that if we have 100 visitors to our website, 5 of them pay the silver membership. Okay. And it also needs to be realistic. Okay. So if you say that, okay, I want 100% conversion rate, that is, I would say that's impossible. It is impossible that you have like 100 visitors and all 100 of them will pay. That is too high. Okay. So usually on conversion rate, I would say that the best conversion rate ever in the most expert digital marketer will be 20%. Higher than that, that's probably magic. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So that's the first part of Rock as Smart Goal. Anyway, any questions so far? Okay. But anyway, if you want to ask a question, just ask me. Okay.
I want to ask first
Okay, sure.
question. I think there is yeah, in the syllabus there is no action section or sales that you mentioned before. So there are only four of it: retention, desire, interest, and attention. Why
Mm-hmm.
don't you just put the action on the list?
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe I will try to edit this one because I can edit it. So actually, this one will be okay. So this one is for interest. This is most likely for interest as well. And this one is for action. I hope this is clear. Is it what you are asking? Still muted?
I mean the explanation of IDA there.
Mm-hmm.
There should be 5 points of it: retention, action,
Oh,
desire,
yeah.
interest, and
All right.
attention. So you didn't put
Okay.
action there. So I just
Okay.
want to know why.
Yeah. Actually, because actually the action is the most important one. So it's actually here. So if you, yeah, as I would say, as described above, yeah. So action is the most important goal in every campaign. Yeah, action is the most important goal. So that's why I say that a digital marketing campaign is mostly used to generate sales or action phase in IDA.
Oh, I got it.
So
What you mean?
yeah,
Okay, so there is no need for you to write an action to
yeah. So
explain.
actually, in this case, I explained the other things that is not
Yeah,
action. Yeah. So action is more
yeah,
probably like about 70% of the campaign will be for action goal,
yeah. You're right.
and maybe the rest is for like retention and desire, interest, or attention. All right. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, so I need to improve the writing, yeah, to make it less confused. So Selfie, please help me, yeah, to make it less confusing. Any feedback, Selfie?
Not for today.
Okay. So I also put additional resources here.
Okay.
Okay. The next part is scorecards. So Rock mentions what is the final result. So for example, okay, we want to sell 12 silver memberships by this time, and from where? Organic search or paid search or YouTube or something, and with how many conversion rate. Okay. And but in order to achieve that, we need to plan realistically. Okay. So for example, we need to have 12 silver memberships. What do we need to have to get that 12 sales. Okay. And to do that, we use what we call a scorecard. So in EOS, scorecard are numbers that the team member must really, really understand. And I usually call them the interim numbers. So interim numbers means that it's not the final result, but it is an indicator. Okay, it's an indicator of a goal. So this is an example. So we have 12 orders. Yeah, we need to have 12 orders of silver membership. That's the final goal. But then, okay, so how many leads do we need to have to get 12 silver memberships? So for example, we plan to have 20% of SQL conversion rate. SQL means sales qualified leads. So sales qualified leads means a person who is interested in our product. We already have the name, we already have the email or phone number. We can contact the person, and basically the person has the money to buy the product. Okay, so that means it's sales qualified. There is another type of lead which is marketing qualified. So marketing qualified, we don't know yet if the person wants to buy the product. We don't know yet if the person has the money. We don't know yet, but that person may be like a follower or maybe a subscriber. That's a marketing qualified. But to make it simple, okay. So if we have 20% of sales qualified lead conversion rate, how many SQLs that we need to have? That means we need to have 60 people. How to get 60 people? Because the conversion rate is 20%, that means we can calculate by 100% divided by 20%, which is 5. So 5 times 12. So we need to have 60 sales qualified leads. So we need to have 60 qualified leads. All right. If this is in 1 quarter, that means you need to have 20 sales qualified leads per month. Okay, so it makes it easy to track progress. Okay, and then how do we get these sales qualified leads? These 60 people. All right, so these 60 people will come from visitors. Okay, so let's imagine that our lead capture submission rate is 25%. What does that mean? That means we have a form. Okay, we have a form that people can use to fill it. I will give an example of Talentifa's own form. Okay, now this one below, right? So this is a form. So imagine that for each visitor, if there are 4 visitors, one of them fills this form. That means the lead capture submission rate is 25%. All right. So if 1 in 4 people submits this form, how many visitors that we need to have to get 60 leads? That means we need to multiply 60 by 240, right? 60 by 4, or 100% divided by 25%. That means 4, and then 4 times 60. So that's why we need to have 240 visitors. Okay. And then, all right. So how do we get 240 people to visit our website? For example, we have 10% SERP click rate. So 10% SERP means that search engine result page. Okay. Search engine result page is, for example, that if we find Jodoh Bandung, and then this website shows up, okay, 10 people who searches on Google, one of them clicks this link, that means it is 1%, 10%, yeah. That means it's 10%. So if we have 10% SERP click rate, how many impressions that we need to get? We need to have 240 people of visitors. We need to have 2,400 impressions. All right. Now, if we have these numbers, or if we have these targets that we call scorecards, it makes it easy to track the progress. So if you have a progress of 1 quarter, all right, so you don't have to measure the sales first. First, you measure how many impressions do you have, and then you measure how many click rate, how many percent of the click rate that you get, and then you measure how many visitors that you have, and then you measure how many submission rate that you get, and then you measure how many leads that you have. and then you measure how many of the conversion rate that you have, and then after that you get the sales. So it makes it easy to tweak your campaign. So which one is wrong? Okay, so it's no use to try to think about the sales if your impression is maybe like only 5 impressions. So you need to work on the impressions first. So it's quite high enough. After you have thousands of impressions and then you don't have visitors or your visitors is still low, then you need to tweak. Okay, so why is it I have lots of impressions but I don't have many visitors? Okay, so this is what a scorecard uh, is used for. So you need to have rock, and then you need to break down that rock into scorecards. And then each week on the EOS meeting, weekly meeting, you report the scorecard. You report, okay, this week, how many sales that I have? This week, how many leads that I have? This week, how many visitors I have? This week, how many impressions I have? If these are your scorecards. All right. Okay, this is it for this section. Any question? Anyone? Okay, yeah, 2 more sections. So it takes longer than I imagined, yeah. But still, this is uh, just one section, yeah, from the entire topic. All right, next one is, okay, so how do I structure this flow of digital marketing campaign? Okay, so we start with the landing page. Landing page is the middle. It's not the start, it's the middle. And it goes inside the attention phase. Why? Because when someone visits a landing page, that person already knows that we exist. That person already knows this website, that person, and we already know generally what that user wants to get. Yeah. So, for example, if we search something like uh, homeschooling, Lovia. So this is a landing page. It's not the home page. It's a landing page that we know for sure that someone who visits this landing page is interested for homeschooling for either their children that is in high school or elementary school, or maybe for himself or herself if he or she is the student. Okay, so that's why we are already on attention. So the job of the landing page after in this landing page, the next part is to move that customer into interest. And that is usually by having, like a call on like making a form that they can contact, or like a WhatsApp number that they want to that they can contact. So that means if they do that, they are moving into interest phase. So it's not just browsing a website, but okay, I'm interested about this. So please contact me, or if there are anything else, or maybe subscribe to an email list. Okay. So it's not a homepage is another. Homepage is what just one page in a website, but landing page, there might be several landing pages in a website. Okay, and there might be several landing pages of the same product. Okay, there might be several landing pages of the same product. For example, in homeschooling, this is a landing page that is Indonesian. So if you want to target users who are expatriates or users who are not in Indonesia, or for any reason they want international school, that means we need to have a landing page that is in English. The product we sell is maybe still the same, but we tailor each landing page for the specific persona or audience of that user. And then after the form, and then we have maybe a personal follow-up, or maybe other things like using email, or maybe using automation or chatbot or AI. But even if we don't have that, if we don't have an application, the easiest way to move the user from interest to desire to action and this purchasing a product is by personal follow-up, by call, by email, by Zoom, by chat, anything. just get that user to sign up and then payment. Okay, so because landing page is already in attention phase, the question is, how do we get a user to visit our landing page? That's why we need campaigns for before the attention phase. Okay, so that user does not know that we exist. That user does not know who is Talentiva, who is Miluf, who is Lovia. So we need to have a sub campaign. Maybe that sub campaign is using Instagram, using YouTube, or using ads, or using content marketing, and so on. So this is a sub campaign that the target is to bring visitors to our landing page. Okay, so this is how it goes. So is it always like this? Basically, each campaign might be different depending on, okay, I think for my target audience, a lot of the people here are from LinkedIn. For example, Talentiva, the selfie handles. So maybe you don't need to have a campaign in Instagram. You don't need to have a campaign on TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, all right. So let's focus on LinkedIn first for the unaware phase. And then from LinkedIn, we bring that person to our website and then to flow to the next steps. Okay, so the conclusion is that we need to create the landing page, but then we need to have several steps, a sub campaign to grab attention from maybe social media or content marketing, or maybe from referral. You work together with another company or an organization or campus. Okay, please put a poster and then bring your users or your students or your friends to my website. That is to grab attention. And then after we get the attention, that user comes to our landing page, right? So a landing page is a specific page for this campaign. You bring them to interest, you bring them to desire, and then you you persuade them to buy. Okay, this is another example. Okay, any question about this one? It's actually the second before last one. Yeah. Wow, we're already almost 40 minutes. That's nice. This will be the last one. Okay. And then the last one is actually, this is just a tip. Okay. The tip is that time box your work and work on the campaign iteratively. Time boxing means that, okay, how much time that you need to do to work on the landing page. Decide for yourself. Okay, for example, I will work on the landing page for 6 hours. And that's it. That's the time that you have for the landing page, for the most important components of the landing page. So what are the most important components of the landing page? You have a title, you have a form, maybe form is later, just a landing page. You have information on why is this good, what are the features, and like the testimonials, other endorsements, and so on. Yeah, basically the value benefit proposition. Okay, and that's it. And then there's a button, no form yet. Okay, maybe you decide, okay, 6 hours. When that 6 hours is done, okay, done. You move on to the next step. Don't too many tinkering on that. You can always polish and improve your campaign after the campaign is running. Okay, and then you work on the campaign iteratively. Basically, okay, so you design the landing page, you design the form, and then you design the from unawareness to become awareness campaign. Maybe you post it on Instagram, post it on YouTube, and so on. And then you track in Google Analytics, and that's it. And then you measure. Okay, you respond. Okay, so how many users are visiting? What are they doing? Why are they leaving? Why are they not filling the form? And when they fill the form, you can take and follow up and see whether your follow up is successful. And if you see that something is not right, then you go back to your campaign and then improve it iteratively. Okay, so you don't have to wait like 1 month or something to just launch a campaign. You can launch the campaigns in a few days and then you tweak it over time while running the campaign. And that's it. That's the first section of digital marketing campaign using landing page, and this is about Rock and Scorecards. Any question? It's already almost 40 minutes, yeah.
I think there's no question from me. It's already clear information, I think.
Okay. So how about Sylvia?
All right. For me, it's clear too, and I don't have a question for now.
All right, thank you. How about Dewi?
And for me, it's clear too for
Okay.
today.
All right, thank you. And how about Revita?
No, too.
Okay. Right. So thank you very much for participating in today's corporate training, our first formal corporate training for Lovia team, which is in collaboration with Talentiva. So thank you, Sylvia, for making this possible and happening. All right. So see you next
All
time.
right.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Mas
Waalaikumsalam
Andi.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.
Great information.